we go.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Let's get this show on the road.
Before you say anything, prepare to shut the fuck up.
Screw me. I ripped ass at the ATM.
McLovin! Nice!
Sit back, relax, and enjoy Irrelevant Platitudes with your hosts, Peter Benici and Lil Dazil. James and Amy.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to episode number 45 of Irrelevant Platitudes. We are your hosts, Peter Benici and...
James Walker and
Lil Dazil.
Hello,
Just
Amy.
kidding.
filling in for Lil Dazil,
Yeah.
bringing you irrelevant commentary on all things pop culture and relationships.
Thanks for stepping in today. It's a bit of short
Most
notice.
welcome. Anytime. Anything for you.
Are you the IrrPlatPod official girlfriend, Amy Wright?
I am, actually.
So, to anyone that doesn't know.
GF reveal.
Yeah.
Completely unpaid. I'm
you've
here
been
of my
on-
own free will.
A whole one podcast before this one,
Yeah.
to which it was a resounding success.
Oh,
That was pre-James.
it was.
Yeah.
That's it.
So this is your guys' first podcast together.
Yeah.
Totally.
Excited?
First time. Yeah. It's lovely.
Fucking
Jamesy?
nice.
Jamesy and I go way back. Like 7 or 8 whole months.
No, I reckon it's a year. It's a
Oh,
good year, 'cause
yeah.
it was Razzie's birthday last year.
That's
I met you
true.
for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And Razzie
Twas
just moved
indeed.
into his
Remember we were
apartment.
D&Ming on the thing downstairs on the balcony?
How
I
could
do.
I forget? Haven't met how
But
you-
how was everyone's
Memories.
week this week?
Mine was crazy. Mine was
It really
filled
was.
with a lot of events and just stuff.
We
going
got
on.
couch drunk FaceTime calls from you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Was that Saturday? Sunday.
Yeah, it
Saturday.
was Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, it wasn't even Sunday morning. I didn't even.
I
fucking
believe it
last
was
till
Sunday
morning.
afternoon. It was a wild
indeed.
time to be
Yeah.
getting a FaceTime. It was
It was a
awesome.
big day and a big weekend.
He had a
and
big day.
Have you recovered? Because it is Friday the following week. How are you feeling tonight?
My energy levels are almost the weekend levels again.
Somewhat respectable to do it all over again?
Yeah, I don't think I'll quite have the same.
We had this exact same conversation last week.
Really?
In the car on the way in.
Neck minute.
James like, nah, like this week I think I'm going to take it easy.
Definitely wind it in.
And then, the next
Yeah.
Then
morning.
you just get that Friday feeling and you're like,
Yeah.
one thing leads to another and revs.
Yeah, I've left my calendar suspiciously open, so
just in case.
Yeah.
who knows what might
I love that.
To a few of our interstate listeners, we've got, so Revolver is a...
Yeah. An institution.
How would you explain? Yeah, so it's an institution.
It's just an institution of cookedness. Like,
It's almost like a time vacuum. Like you go in at a certain point.
it's a
and then,
24-hour club.
Yeah, come out many days
happen.
after.
It's a special type of club, like Melbourne's Berghain, but
It's
nothing
wild.
like it, I guess.
I
Never
always
been
wanted to
Berghain.
go. Paulie's been, I think.
To the Berghain?
Yeah,
Of course he has.
he has some stories about it.
Bet he does.
It's fucking
It's
not
called
bad.
something in Sydney, the Arc. They've got something like that in Sydney called the
There
Arc.
you go. But more
Could be.
importantly, I cracked my non-handy beverage, but let's get into it.
Drink of the week.
Sorry, man. I Suntory'd all over you.
He did.
So this is all we had left. And Amy's not a big drinker, but would you like
So,
some of my
yeah,
Suntory?
I'll get around
Give it a sip.
Is there anything in it? Just kidding.
You like it?
I do. Just tastes like Lift.
Yeah.
But
Remember
without
Lift?
all the
Soju,
sugar, it's nice
vodka,
sweet.
and
Nice and-
True.
lemon.
nice and tart.
There's a genuine lemon vibe instead of pretend
Mm.
lemon like in Lift.
Exactly. But and then we'll take that straight into the...
Yo, you about done? Tick tock, motherfucker.
And as Steph so justly pointed out in the chat, yes, we're repeating the drinks because I was about to pass out and didn't have any alcohol in the house. So
Yep. And they're
we're
tasty.
using the same drinks.
Also, they're the fucking best. So.
They seem really unisex. There's nothing really girly.
Androgynous? Do you think it's androgynous?
It is.
Mm,
All right.
Probably not allowed to say that.
So
an unintentional
androgynous?
statement.
you can't say androgynous
I
anymore?
fucking don't know. I can't say anything.
All right.
Don't want to be too woke.
Well,
Throwing around words like that.
speaking of not woke, these talks are a bit on the edgy
No,
side.
it
This
won't.
week.
Good.
I think.
Can't wait.
Ready, team?
That look like that hurt.
Jesus.
You okay?
Becky. Get out. Mama, can you squirt?
The look at his face when he says it as well.
He's like,
just chilling
I
and
know I
just
shouldn't
wants
be
to know.
asking this.
Delivers that like a.
You know when kids say something and you're like, don't smile or laugh or encourage them in any way because you're supposed to act like, don't say that. But really it's hilarious what they've said.
I doubt his mum was laughing at that though.
It's
No.
just like, where did you hear that?
And I wanted to hear an answer.
It's like
Am I right?
11.
Yeah.
What's your favorite planet?
Don't say it.
Uh,
But it's true. Not like the butthole, like the
Whoa.
planet, Uranus, like the planet.
Why is that your favorite planet?
Because it has butthole in it.
What's your favorite planet?
Brilliant.
I thought I'd chuck that one in there because it's cute and
His
wholesome.
mum's like,
great.
don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Great.
Little shit.
This one's a bit on the edgy side, but I don't think this actually has any
Fuck's
audio.
my Fucking.
What? No.
Yep. It's a thing now.
How? What?
No, that's a fucking joke.
Yep. Blind long
What
jump.
did they think was going to happen?
Fucked.
How good
That's
is it?
not real.
What?
That can't be real.
That's cruel. That is
As if there
fucking
isn't
cruel.
like people guiding them or buffering them to be like.
I want to see bloopers from
like
the
when you
fucking
bowl
blind
and they
long
have, like,
jump.
bumpers.
Yeah,
That could
exactly.
That could get really.
I want to
fucking
see it at.
fucked up and
It's
funny
so
really
fucking
fast.
dangerous. Can you imagine running as how terrifying running
Look at
as
him.
fast
He's
as you
going
can
ham too.
at something?
And that would happen quite often too,
How
right?
do you know when to jump? Even does someone say?
It'd be a certain number of steps, I think. This is
too late to squeeze a gay.
Yeah.
Can I send it
It's never too late.
to?
Send it to the IrrPlatPod
Okay, done.
Instagram,
Yeah,
and I'll be able to bring that one up nice and quick for you. Whilst I do, this one always have a plan B.
So just sleuths.
That is the most
done?
America thing I've ever seen. It's just like
Pretty well to keep with the vibe though. He's like, what can I do?
God bless him. He's terrified.
Poor little
my
bastard.
dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, now this one.
Kirk.
7.
Anne?
Kirk.
6.
What's your 6, Anne?
Retard.
Retard.
Whoa.
7.
Tetrode.
Anne.
Yeah, look up tetrad. Retard, you need 2 R's, and I'm afraid there's only
That's fucking gold. That is so good. Fucking love it.
Kirk.
Hey, the best is that it's English too.
What's your 6, Anne?
Retard.
Retard.
Tetrode.
Jesus.
All right, now let's.
Fuck.
You've sent it through, yeah?
Yeah, I think I have.
Give me walks, mate.
Who's that tart in your DMs?
Right?
Will it work?
It will.
Well, it did.
Well, let me adjust this so we can.
I haven't seen this. This was
Use it
sent
in
to
the-
me from someone who enjoyed the Home and a Game memes last week.
Ah,
so
I
I
see.
just thought I'd better represent
Tour is
them.
over and
Welcome to the K-Zone. Get into K-Zone. Get into
I
K-Zone.
remember the K-Zone ads.
tour is over and
Welcome to the
Such
K-Zone.
thing as K-Zone.
Get into
Can't say that's on brand for
I've,
me. I'm not into that type
I've
of
actually
stuff.
never been in a K-hole before, and I'd be terrified. I think
Me
if I
either.
ended up in
Yeah, I reckon
I've
that,
never,
Yeah.
would never want to.
that would be
anything like
awful.
that.
What's this one?
My friend fell in a K-hole in the middle of Coles. Literally.
How the fuck is that?
Because he thought it didn't work and then it was too late. He was on his back like a turtle and
You overcommit.
Damn.
yeah. It was awful.
I'll replay this for you guys.
And
It's
that's
terrifying.
why I don't take.
When you use 100% of your brain.
See ya.
My man. Oh yeah, this is the one Amy sent me during the week. I do like this one.
It's get ready for your
Black
ears to be.
people
It's
are so
offensive.
cool. They can own their own racial slur. Okay, that's how cool they are. No other minority in America is cool enough to own their own slur. All right, you never see Chinese people walking around just going, hey yo, my chinks. Yo, where my
Hurts my
chinks at?
ears.
Yo, holler at me chinks.
Wait.
My chinks. Hey, stay yellow, my fellows. Whoa. Like black people.
Fucking hell.
That word is so jarring.
I forgot. We get to see Superwog
A
tomorrow
lot.
too.
Yeah.
We got free tickets to Superwog. I don't know why that reminded me of slurs, I guess.
Yeah.
Racial
slurs.
But that's this week's talks. We had a few. Good work, team. Very proud of that effort. But,
I like it.
The reason that we're all here today, obviously, is for dating and relationship stuff. And I'll do
Looked
this
right
first,
at
actually.
me.
And all the while, you're just really wondering, are we going to get hopped up enough to make some bad decisions? Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Okie dokie. And today's topic is salacious tales from the strippers that we actually have in the audience. Would you call them the audience?
Yeah, now
The listener base.
There's some,
Sphere.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've
Yeah,
collated
circles.
some stories that have been sent in, and our good friend James, who has a much better reading voice than
Juicy.
I, is going to read the self-entitled stripper memoirs.
Stripper memoirs.
Yeah, do you want some more? Zoom on that, friend.
Yeah, I can
How's
see
that?
that. It's good.
All right.
Okay.
Have you read them?
No, I've not read
This will be his
Really?
first time
at all. No, I probably
Can you
could.
do like your Morgan Freeman stuff?
Morgan Freeman stuff.
Yeah. Do it.
A guy
He's got a
used
really
to be
good voice for
obsessed
this.
with his.
So I guess this first one's entitled "Fetish Dudes."
Yeah, I probably should start with the title. Hey, so
I got you, boo.
these are the stripper memoirs, and this fetish dudes.
And these are the days
A
of our
guy, and
lives.
I am Jimmy No Vlogs. A guy used to be obsessed with his regular favorite girl's feet. He paid her to use those peeling foot pads that you sleep in that makes all the skin shed and flake off.
God.
And then the following night, sit there with him in the booth because they're strippers. Yeah, totally. With her feet in his lap and peel her flaky dead skin off. And he's obviously paying for this service.
That's actually fucking disgusting.
We're familiar with foot fetishes, but like that's on another level of.
So these feet thingies, that in my mind, is that the thingy that the man before the Asians put around their feet? Is it like a bag?
It's like that, but it's got salicylic acid in it, so it's almost like a peel for your feet. So I think you leave it overnight.
Oh my
and the
God.
next day the skin just falls off and they're all soft. Yeah.
So it's not a booty. It goes on like a pad.
Yeah, it's almost like a sock, and then I take it off and just go about your life, and then like exactly 24 hours later, it would start shedding like a snake, and you'd be like peeling it off like in sheets, like sunburn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a very
Wow.
specific fetish. 'Cause
I don't-
I've heard of foot
And he would
fetish.
peel it off. I guess is it like some sort of, you know how there are people that like peel scabs?
I think it was
Is it like
just,
an elevated scab erectile?
I feel like it was
booster?
more
Something
just.
more psychological going on there, in my opinion. Something
It's
about
the one time we need Lil.
peeling of
I know,
skin
right?
layers.
One
We
time.
miss you, Lil.
We need Lil all the time,
Yeah.
but especially now.
So anyway,
I feel like it's just feet
Phil's
in
gonna bring
general.
some to work on Monday. Thanks, bro.
there's more to this. I'll bring you.
He's gonna bring me some
Oh.
feet. Fucking
Oh, nice. Fresh layer of skin.
entrails.
enjoy.
Like snake skin.
So a guy used to come in and want lap dances and ask for not so much nudity, but to physically hurt him, slap his face, to pinch and punch him. You had to do it covertly though, because you can't really be seen doing that. Pinching and stiletto stabs were easy to hide, but you'd need to time it carefully. It actually reminds me of a weird kink video that I saw.
Really? Recently.
It was
Oh,
like-
really?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it was.
He doesn't even have to look where that button is. He just does it. Like he knows exactly where
I
it
can
is. He's
side eye
like,
the
"Ding."
Sasha Grey button.
He's put it in the key location.
It's his
so that you
favourite
can
button.
Bring it up quickly.
It's thumb distance.
Yeah, it was a testicle stomping video with stilettos. Guy around him.
I just
Yeah.
I'm not kink shaming, but I can't. Yeah,
Getting beaten
I can't
up.
see how he was getting any pleasure out of it.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's what everybody says about fetishes. They don't
It would look
have
pretty
right?
fucking rough.
So it says here.
Don't you damage your testes permanently? These
So-
dudes don't want to breed anyway.
Yeah, so she was waiting for security to come through and then doing it. So this is like,
Nah, like you had to do
So
it covertly.
basically, he's saying,
Gotta hide it.
I want you to do this weird shit to me, and she has to do it behind the backs of security. Otherwise, it looks
Yeah, I don't think you can just whack a dude across the face in the middle of the
in
club.
a strip club. Yeah, it might be.
Just trying to hide it.
so, and then they go on to say, but he was slightly disappointed with me because I didn't have the physical strength to really hurt him enough. It got to the point where I couldn't do any more, so I gave him to another girl who really loved it because she was a lesbian who smoked ice before work.
Oh, fully. Was she a man-hating lesbian by chance?
Well, I mean,
fucking
smoke that shit and you hate everything. I don't
What a
know.
win-win situation.
Oh
Bloody
my
hell.
God.
I just, yeah. Getting off on
Okay.
somebody just laying into you.
Yep.
And I think these next ones are a little bit of the underside of the clubs.
Underworld culture.
Yeah, there's some interesting cats getting around at this place.
Okay. So the clubs where I learnt my way around dangerous blokes, speaking from bitter experience, how to carry myself to keep that world at arm's length and stay out of trouble. So Underworld men of note would walk into the side door and point to the ceiling as soon as they stepped inside. The signal to management to turn off all of the security cameras in the area they wanted to hang out in. They'd stay for hours and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on girls and drinks, rack lines in plain sight, and break all of the no-touching rules as much as they liked, and nobody would go near them. The girls with them were excused from their table roster too, so that they could stay with them without having to go off and do a set.
Apparently they have table rosters. There you go. You learn something every day.
Yep. I knew about the table.
Destiny, you're on table 4.
Yep. And then
Literally.
Yep. And you got a stage. You got a stage up in 15 minutes.
Yep. Don't be late.
Buy your way out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that.
Serious business.
Yep.
Kitty buzz.
Yeah.
So those dudes weren't super interested in really sexy dances. They were more into just hanging out and creating a vibe around themselves with the best girls in the club. But when you did dance for them, you stayed well away from touching or brushing near their waistbands and ankles out of respect for whatever is being stored there.
I guess does that imply guns?
I would say
right?
weapons.
Either that or
Not
it's
penises.
Well-
Those ankle dicks, you know.
Oh yeah, they could be tucking into their
There's-
waistband.
They could. It's a good tactic if you get an erection in public.
If you're 15,
Waistband.
write that down.
Waistband tuck. If one stood up and took his suit jacket off and was strapped, you just didn't see it and slightly hung up his suit jacket where he could see it and continued lap dancing him, just not leaning on his piece as if he's not there. It's not there. As if it's not there. If they took a phone call, you turned your head and started fixing your hair, made it obvious you were tuned out. If the two of them started talking about business together, gently move away and give them space, or laugh and chat with the other girls to show how you're not listening in.
That's terrifying.
Very true, Bill. Very true.
Oh, chicks go missing. And it's like dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, man.
It's just weird that they pick strip clubs to hang out in.
Yeah.
Well, they're the king,
Well,
right?
it sort of makes kind of
You're kind of the
almost perfect
boss.
sense.
You reckon?
Yeah, it does.
It's quite private.
Yeah, it does.
It's dark.
Yeah, and it's like
I guess you're the king.
if you watch the
Your money.
if you watch like The Sopranos or
Underbelly?
Yeah. Bada
Remember
bing.
Underbelly?
yeah, that's it.
That
And
went
so
off.
he'd
Bogans loved Underbelly.
The Melbourne one.
and that's what
Yeah.
it is. So when you go out, you work hard, you play hard. So they've got their
Yeah.
they got their guma, they got the girl on the side, but then they got the strip club.
Yeah.
It's on tap. Fucking rebought. So anyway,
They do work hard. Crime
Yes.
pays.
that's it. So
And probably a really good way to launder money also. Because I
Yeah,
doubt I
true.
doubt the girls would be checking the 50s if they were legit or not. So,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
a lot of it's all
babe.
FPOS receipts and shit these days.
that's
Yeah,
fucking.
it's
Wait,
okay.
do they convert it to thingy and it's in
Yeah,
a
a lot of
card?
them for privates and stuff. I'm like,
Oh, true.
pay for this thing.
True.
And anyway, so yeah,
Interesting.
so play dumb and don't get involved. You need to seem as dumb and disconnected from what's going on as possible.
Yep. I heard that.
That's
Fuck
my
me.
Man, we can do that.
that's my advice
Do that
from
in day to day life.
from a stripper in the know.
But we did actually bring up some backup topics because I did think we were going to get through those pretty quickly because they're,
I thought there might have been. Oh, wasn't there more?
Is there more? Did I miss?
I don't know. I didn't scroll down.
Whoa. Okay, there's so many. All right, we're good. There we go. See, I'm very tired, team.
I mean-
I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning and I am struggling.
Just as well that we had all of these lined up and in the tank for me to read through.
Carry on, James. Ignore the tired man in the corner.
Try and keep the energy
Have
level
you
up
read
so you don't go to
these?
sleep.
Have you read these ones?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're all going to learn together.
So one guy always had a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. He was the most solemn of all and looked really distracted and wound up and sad all the time. He participated out of obligation. This guy sounds like a mob accountant. This guy.
Yeah, like he's exactly the
sound
mob
like a party.
bitch. Like, I'm here with
But he's
whatever's in
miserable.
this suitcase.
But his mind felt a million miles away, and he couldn't get him to smile or distract him with anything sexy at all. I actually felt sorry for him. He did lock eyes and half smile at me only once when I said really quietly, "Carrying that thing around looks like heavy work. I hope you're okay."
Oh, that's
I
adorable.
want to know more about that guy.
It is quite, and I want to know what's in the box.
Exactly. What's in the briefcase?
I don't have the what's in the
Money.
box grab.
It's a MacGuffin.
Money for someone's life.
MacGuffin.
Is it?
Yep.
What do you mean?
I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, but okay, so speculative because you might know more about the these underworldy type things than me because our stuff down here is not as intense. But like, is it like not a ransom?
It'd be like 30, 40, 50. I mean, so I'm told.
Yeah.
Just tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah.
A bunch of cash.
Oh, so he's the actual cash boy.
But I mean, from what I remember from living in Perth life, I mean, bikie times, that'd be for somebody who'd been really outcast. Yeah, that's probably somebody's life fee.
So in terms of like they give you like,
Oh, so he's not just like paying the bills as they go around and party.
It's not opening. I don't. Yeah,
It's not for a deal or something.
it's just being transported. I'd say.
Fully.
oh, I see.
Come to
Okay,
the club and away. That's sexy.
interesting.
Mm,
Speaking of interesting,
terrifying.
the next letter is interesting cats.
Interesting cats, as in interesting people.
That's my cue.
It's like back to work.
A regular one of the girls would come in every few months and spend huge money, like $5,000 or $6,000 in one night. One of the
A regular of one of
Oh,
those. Yeah.
sorry.
No, I got you.
A regular of one of the girls would come in every few months and spend huge money, like $5,000 or $6,000 one night on the same girl. He was obsessed with her. He begged her to go out on a date outside of the club with him, and she eventually caved because he offered to pay her $10,000 for dinner.
That's
For
not
dinner.
all that he's paying for,
That
but yes,
sounds
yeah,
questionable. But
leading, Your Honor.
Yeah. Once he'd done
Objection.
that was just heard similar stories to these. Once he'd done that, every time he asked her afterwards, he would stop asking for sex. He wanted to sleep with her so badly. He asked and offered so much money for sex. When the offer got to $25,000, she finally said yes. She had sex with him in a hotel room, and he blew after a few pumps.
Well,
That's pretty good. That's a
$25,000.
pretty good.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's like $10,000 per pump.
Would you? Yeah, that's right.
She had the money laundered by one of the club's beloved lawyers and put the money straight into her mortgage.
Smart girl.
Fully.
Would you? 25? I mean, what's your price?
How many times does he have to pump me?
Well, 2.5. 2.5.
No, I don't think I would be pumped for any amount of
There's
K.
no price.
Yeah.
James, he
I'd
doesn't have
only
a
be
price.
pumped for love. That's my
There's
No, wow.
There's no money on my
or
my
fun.
sexual
Caboose.
escapades.
Love or fun. There was this
No.
really big tall dude who was half.
Oh, is another one? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Sorry, I'll
This
jump
is
in on the
another
25.
interesting cat.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah. I think 25's more than ample for my I'd be in
Yeah,
at
man.
about 8.
25.
Baby,
Is this for the
really?
pegging,
Possibly
the bad boys?
2.
Yes.
Dollars. That's $2.
I love how Bill Straight goes into the pegging. Bill, I'd say probably for around 5 would be entering negotiations. I think
What did Bill say?
he wants to know like the pegging amount.
The pegging.
He brings it
What's
up
your
every
pegging
week.
price, babe?
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we're about 5K.
$5
we start
grand,
discussing.
babe,
We
raise
start
the bar.
discussing. We start
I've got
discussing.
10 if you've
You'd
got
start
change.
negotiations.
If you got a 5 for
Well, if you're
change.
flashing 10, we're definitely going up from 10.
I reckon
Okay.
there's a better
So-
one. I reckon there's a better story down.
Oh, really?
Further.
Do you reckon?
Do you skip this one?
Yeah.
Did you were reading ahead again? Good
Yeah.
job. You think someone switched on?
I reckon.
Waitress
We
culture.
didn't do
I reckon
our
this is interesting. This would be a discussion piece for us.
waitress. Okay, good. And then can we scroll down? Is there any more after this?
No.
This
I
is
don't
it.
think
Okay,
so.
Big one,
great.
yeah.
Good thing someone did their homework
Well,
and pre-read.
I
'cause
think,
she
yeah.
did.
I
We
pre-read
both
for everybody. It's okay.
slept
Some of us
through
were
it.
after work drinking.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Lizelle, if you ever watch this podcast,
Some of us were
Respect.
after
I
work
can be
sleeping.
mum. That's fine.
Yeah. So waitress culture. A lot of dancers had no tolerance for the waitress, and vice versa. I think they saw them as just more judgmental, morally superior bitches in our workplace.
wow.
Who look down on us and judge us for being dancers.
Oh, hell no!
It's like they wanted to cash in on a more provocative environment we were in. Just dip their toe in a seedy, raunchy world we were immersed in, just enough to make lots of tips, but never enough that any of the dirt would stick.
Mm.
Yeah, it's true.
They could
Yeah.
never be accused of being all in. They weren't the ones doing the thing that make it provocative. They had no real skin in the game.
Hey.
Entirely
Yeah,
intended.
literally.
Um,
I need it. I need
Yeah,
a tick thing.
but I didn't look at them like that. I decided it was smarter to have allies in such a volatile environment, and I thought they were less likely to be drug addled or drunk than other dancers were. So they're more reliable sources of information. And it did pay for me to be kind to the waitresses. I never drank at work and ordered at the expense of blokes buying. Fake wet pussy shots and Grey Goose vodka and sodas all night long. One
Yeah,
week-
man.
Yeah, that's actually smart.
yeah.
I can understand.
Because that actually costs, if you're not enjoying drinking like that, you're just going to be getting trapped.
And it's just dangerous
Do you
too.
know how
And
hard it is
especially-
to say no
yeah.
to drinks when you're out? You just use
Yeah.
like such a wet blanket.
Yeah.
In Australia, it's like, why don't you want to drink? And
Especially
I'm
if
like,
you got
I do
those-
sometimes. But
Yeah, and it's not just mafia guys, obviously, but people who want that party vibe.
Yeah,
And if you're
yeah.
Like, I don't drink or
Yeah.
do drugs. There'd be some people who'd be like,
you're boring.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it pays to befriend the waitresses. So we made those waitresses rich, and in return, they kept an eye on us, caught our eye, and secretly shook our heads if we were with someone dangerous, and pointed the most promising leads in our
He's
direction.
really struggling with his reading, babe.
It's because we both lost where it is.
Yeah, I lost the spot, and I was trying
Yeah.
to pick it up. So one week, the right waitress behind the bar, and they knew not to make me a real one. They pocketed all the money spent on watered down grapefruit juice and fizzy water. There you go, I missed that line.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I just let my neck relax and flop my head around more as the night went on. There we go, that's smart. Whoever
I like
this
this.
mystery person is, she's smart, isn't she?
Very, very switched on.
So we made those waitresses rich, and in return, they kept an eye on us, caught our eye, and secretly shook their heads when, if we were with someone dangerous, and pointed the most promising leads in our direction. I fucked it up again.
Yeah, man.
Because
that's
that
right.
fucking
Maybe-
blue
Yeah.
underline. So once I was sat at a table of underworld dudes with one of my Grey Goose drinks, still almost full. The drink was. A waitress who wasn't assigned to that table came over to us and quickly snatched away my drink and said, "I'll clear these glasses for you." I didn't understand at the time, but she got a lot of trouble for throwing away my drink. Later on that night, I realized what she'd done for me, and I gave her a massive tip. It pays to have allies.
Oh, wow.
Assumedly, that was a spiked.
I think it was
That's
spiked.
fucked.
I guess
Yeah.
You never know.
Because
but it
people have
sounds
got to have eyes on this shit. That's why when we go out, I'm like looking
Yeah.
at all the girls' drinks. I don't trust that shit, man. If it sits on a table, it's finished.
That's fair.
Mm.
And
It's
it's really
so
hard to pick
dangerous.
up on that stuff too until it's too late.
Totally.
Yeah, and it's like the time bomb thing because the guy puts the thing in the drink and then he can kind of hover and like be
Yeah,
quite a ways
yeah.
away, quite stealthily.
How long does
It's
it take?
fucking terrifying.
Is it like,
Usually
do dudes
about
know this? Is it a
25
measured
minutes.
thing? It's like approximately
I
25
imagine
to
it would
35.
Depend on what. I think there's probably different things that people could
True.
use. I know in like
Depends
the
on how-
movies, they see like Rohypnol or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if anyone having Rohypnols or anything.
Is that a roofie? That's a roofie.
Yeah, yeah,
think so,
roofies,
yeah.
Rohypnol, yeah. One of my girlfriends was
Roofied.
apparently roofied, but then it's like it's one of
For
those
real?
shit things where it's like we're not 100% sure, but she was around the toilet like vomiting heaps, like
Could
all
just
night
be
and stuff.
like white girl, like
that too.
alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens a bit like they spiked me. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you just munted and you don't want to
My-
admit to it. Like,
That's what my cousin got spiked at some point, and they were telling me this story. I'm like, fuck, that's horrible. That's really horrible. And they're like, yeah. And then we went, and then we had to go and pick her up, and she was doing backstroke in a garden bed in the middle of a roundabout, and I
Whoa.
was like, did you get fucking spiked, or did you just take acid
voluntarily.
All the acid.
Yeah.
Acid sounds
That
terrifying.
sounds fucking terrifying. I was expecting the stories to be super spicy, but they all just make
yeah, it
me
was more like sexual stuff.
want to
I
give
was
people
thinking,
hugs
but-
and just be like, that's actually quite fucking dangerous outside of the sexual stuff.
It is, and
Like-
it pays to have your bits back because I don't know, for all of the dramatic stories,
Yeah.
that I've heard of strippers and whatever else, this all seems very staid and sensible in a way.
Correct.
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the way you'd want to be if you're in a dangerous environment, I'd imagine.
I just thought that they all got drunk and hooked up, but
I mean, there's definitely that in there, and I think in Melbourne especially, it's a lot of the more popular clubs. I think have almost the junkie dancers
yeah, that's
in
the
like
thing.
surplus now.
Like, heck, yeah, not to stereotype, but like
No, it's
heaps
true.
of tattoos.
Yeah, every
heaps
second
of
or third
ice.
dancer will literally be like asking if they go to Revolver
Shard
and their eyes light
everywhere.
up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
man.
Okay.
It's
So does that mean there's a lot of strippers rolling around at Revs?
100%,
Yeah.
2000%.
I saw one there last Saturday,
You
actually.
sighted
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
in their natural habitat.
yeah.
How could you tell?
Habitat. Because I had dated her in the past.
Oh, well,
I was
that's a clear
oh,
indication. It's
yeah.
definitely her.
It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like even when, because I did a quick stint working out back and driving the centerfold cars, pretty much all the
yeah.
girls and stuff on Sundays would go from work to Revolver.
So were you dropping them off home or taking them to other jobs?
Just bits and pieces, like because the cars were always there, and when you're working and stuff.
Oh, you just like run
if you're
them
not,
somewhere?
If you're not on the cars, you can start a bit earlier in the day, and they would do. This was a long time ago. They would do gigs at factories and stuff as well.
Oh, like work dues.
Yeah, So they
Right.
would do that. So you use the cars for that. You'd use the cars for pretty much anything, really. It was a really fun job. It was
How
like
old were you?
$60 an hour, cash in hand.
How old were you when you were running strippers around?
I would have been 24. I would
that
say
would have
24,
been a
25.
wild time for
Yeah,
24-year-old
dream job.
Nucci.
It made my EB look like fucking nothing. Because like back then I was struggling to get to 2 to 3 shifts a week. And I would just do that for like half a day and be like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like,
Did
"Here you
you,
go."
But
did
he
you
was
get any
still
gobbies
stoked.
in those back of those cars?
Never ever.
Don't answer that.
That was in my fat days. That's in my real fat days. No, and look, honestly, you can sense like I think maybe back then because I was a little bit quieter and a little bit more reserved. The trauma is also like almost not off-putting, but like it makes you retreat.
What
when
trauma?
you can
Their
feel
trauma.
It. Yeah, because you can feel it's like
You can feel that they're broken. I think that's a bit of a
a
stereotype.
little
but-
bit, yeah. No, but you definitely feel the energy. It's not like a normal warm energy. It's like an apprehensive kind of like
Please don't murder me energy.
thing. Yeah. And that's definitely not conducive of a happy.
A gobby?
Yeah, well, for some guys maybe, but definitely it threw me off
Not
quite
me.
a bit. Yeah.
Babe.
I just felt sorry for them, to be honest, which is apparently like a big no-no and they all hate it and whatever. But I'm sorry. Like, that's how it felt in the car. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in a car with like a half-naked lady on the side that didn't even say the name of the right club you were coming out of because he owns Centerfold as well. So the Centerfold cars would drive men's gallery girls around. It's so stupid. Yeah. And I was just, it's like this whole thing. I'm like, this is so fucked up.
Apologies
But-
to our loyal listener base, comprised of some strippers.
Yeah, I'm allowed to feel sad and awkward around like people that genuinely make me feel awkward, though. No,
Yeah, true. Yeah, valid
you
point.
know what I
It's
mean?
valid. Yep.
I'm just explaining my
I think
experience.
Yeah.
As a young
Everybody's got
man.
their own reason to do it, but
Yeah. Going back now, I feel totally comfortable. Like on Bucks parties and stuff, I'm like, this is cool. They
Yeah.
look much happier than the other ones I used to drive around. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're probably seeing an
You know what?
unfiltered side
During the
as well.
day.
Yeah,
where you
the
see the
daytime.
During the day is big.
daytime.
on your way to a
True.
gig, just being like, fuck this, I'm about to, and then on your way back from a gig.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was-
a bit less of a party when it's daylight hours.
Mm.
And it's less of a side hustle, I feel, and more of your main gig if you're
Yeah.
on the road during the
think-
day.
I reckon that's who's,
Maybe.
I think there's a couple of things I think people who, do all right and use it to their advantage. And that's the thing about feeling sorry for people. It's
Yeah.
like, if you're not doing well, you feel sorry for them. A lot of women use stripping as an empowering thing. And some of the sort of top earners don't have issues about boundaries or drug use or whatever. They're just like, fuck you, I'm not drinking. I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not drinking or I'm not taking any drugs or
Yeah.
I'm that hot that you just have to fucking fit in with me.
Just bask in my glory for a
and
minute.
I think that those guys aren't. They probably wouldn't give off an abuse, threaten, whatever vibe because they're genuinely empowered by it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Whereas I think there's another level of, there's another type of stripper who is either doing it out of necessity or really feels that they've got to hustle and work or misrepresent themselves to sell a fantasy that's not clearly a fantasy.
That was the ones that would drive, like, because you could tell the ones that would never, like, because they wouldn't take the gigs because they would be like, why would I come in during the day? I would just work at night.
And
You know what I
clean
mean?
up.
It's the ones that like really need the cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Daytime gigs, I think it's more guaranteed, the cash too. There's
Yeah.
no hustle. It's like if you rock up, you're going to get paid,
That's true.
apparently. So whereas at
'cause
nighttime, it's
it's
like
a definite thing. But
yeah,
then
it's
there's
like
also
locked in.
maybe you get, like if it's topless waitressing or something, you get your thing. But then maybe it's like, oh, we do some privates afterwards. And so it might be a defined thing. But it's
yeah.
unknown. Could be,
Yeah. Fun fact for you guys, actually, ascertained from this evening's drinks. So they're obviously making legislative changes to legalize sex work and all that sort of stuff. Fun fact, they are pushing to have it legalized to where it can be done in households. So that basically changes it from like obviously being sanctioned for, areas and usually,
broths.
yeah, it can be done in housing. So I think that's going to change a lot of this sort of stuff completely.
Yeah, why would you buy a
households,
laptop?
I know,
I
what
was
the
like,
fuck?
Like,
Uber,
you could
Uber's
private
like
kids, you don't have any
Uber
fucking
sex.
pocket
Yeah.
money.
You could be a private contractor and work from your own home.
Fully.
Yeah, but
Wow.
if you're a carpenter, you can't do that.
Oh.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know why that popped into my head, but it was wild. We're having
Yeah,
this
true.
conversation, and I have to be careful because it's an active
Oh my
investigation at
God.
work where they're actually trying to shut down multiple illegal brothels somewhere, and the current members of local government are trying to get.
They're like, no, it's fine. Leave it.
They're trying to stall it because they're going to pass the
fine.
legislation to make it legal.
Right.
But obviously,
yeah.
the local area has a
Yeah.
duty where they have to follow it and close it down.
They're
and
like,
this
just
place
delay it a
has-
little while. Don't rush.
This place apparently has between it was 80 to 130 confirmed / unconfirmed illegal brothels within its council
Whoa.
boundaries.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
You can't say which council that is, can you?
No. Actually, maybe
Woo.
not even a council. It could be a state, could be a territory, could be in space.
Well, yeah, of course.
But I think that's gonna definitely shake up a lot of
Yeah, because
of
why
this
would you
sort
pay
of stuff
$50
too.
for a lappy when you can get an Uber gobby?
yeah, and not even an Uber gobby. Like you could just literally the OnlyFans stuff levels up on top of that. Ironically enough, in OnlyFans you're not allowed to solicit, but like it's legal
True.
at like the council to state / federal level.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's unregulated. Also, it's looking to be completely unregulated because how are you going to trust that the stay-at-home brothel is going to be getting their regular sex checks and all that sort of stuff?
True.
And the clientele also, it's just it's a whole thing.
Fuck.
But
Monkeypox is out there.
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Fucking free for all.
motherfuckers getting blisters everywhere.
Mm.
But it's
That's an exciting time to be alive.
yes.
What can I say?
Um,
Bloody hell.
but it's mate.
That's fucking wild.
And I think we can briefly touch on this too, because it does kind of. I'll try and segue off it if I can. Is the modern dating culture? No, it's not segueing at all. Is the modern dating culture killing good old fashioned love?
Well, it does segue because it's
Little
about paying for
Sex.
a feeling.
Yeah, and even like GFE, like the girlfriend experience. The heaps of guys, especially in the Twitch sphere, will end up following a lot of female streamers and stuff. Even BFEs, so like best mate experiences and boyfriend experiences. Same thing with guys. They'll kind of exchange money for friendship and or
Wow.
feeling,
But how can your girlfriend experience somebody as a Twitch streamer?
It's the parasocial relationship. It's a new thing.
But you're not specifically speaking to him, aren't you? Streaming to
You will specifically, like, how we reach out to Bill and stuff when Bill tags me in the chat.
you just like mention.
Yeah, and that's like if you're in there for hours at a time, it
She's like
becomes
talking
to feel
to you kind of thing. And like that's
I was actually explaining it to Lil because the parasocial stuff's not coming up in literature yet.
parasocial, did
yeah.
you say?
So it's like it's like having relationships with like people you see on TV and you feel connected to them. They don't actually know you, but you know them. It's like a one-sided relationship, effectively.
Is it the same as in like Her, where he's like got a relationship with an AI?
Yeah.
Similar thing.
Yeah.
That's almost reciprocal, but it's not real.
Because the AI is molding itself to him. But it's like if you fell in love with Siri or something.
But you could even, it's the thing is
Alexa.
you could even say that like when they're grateful for like the cash usually, that is almost that feigning of the relationship back to them. So I think
So they're like, thank you so much. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
definitely technology is hampering it in that way, but I'm guessing obviously we'd want to talk about the dating apps and things like that. You're dating appless.
Dating apps.
Still,
Apparently
and I'm
he
very
doesn't
proud of
need
you
it.
for doing that.
He doesn't need it.
You're on a
anti-app.
fucking hot streak. dude.
Yeah, man.
I don't
You
even.
don't even
Yeah.
need it.
Not bad. Good choice.
I never get to use that one.
Yeah, spot on.
So I was wondering where he's going.
We're happy for you, Jamesy.
Being Borat? Yeah.
So
thanks.
good.
But
Yeah.
you dating
Trying to
apps,
be
didn't you?
For a minute.
You were a bumbler.
I'm such a relationships girls. I don't even know how to do the. I don't even know how to do that.
We've had discussions where you've been on Bumble. You don't.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not, but
Yeah.
I was talking about this the other day with one of the girls at work, and
yes.
she was like, "Do you remember when you went on Bumble and tried to be like, all like, I don't need no boyfriend. I'm not going to be this wife material anymore. I'm just going to live my best life." And she's like, "You went and saw a dude one time, and then the next time you saw him, you were like, so I bought you this thing, like,
Yeah.
this."
You're just a sweetheart, though.
Because I'm just like, yeah, but he needs it because and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? I'm doing it again. I'm just being a wife. Like I only know how to.
You have
but
a big heart.
Like he really needs this thing for his like life, and I just thought I'd bring it for him. She's like, stop. That's not the protocol. That is not the protocol. You're supposed to just rock up and be a bitch and just
You get way more
hook
value
up
than
and
that.
just.
You don't have to be
And I'm
nice.
like, okay.
But see, that actually
I don't
adds
know how to
weight
do
to what I
that,
was
like-
saying last week too, about how the dating is an aggressive space.
Yeah.
And like obviously the person who was telling you like the advice was to like rock up and be a
Yeah.
bitch. Like that. See, I'm not the only one that enters that space. I think you've been lucky where obviously your organic relationships feel way more comfortable than that, right?
Yeah.
But these
I don't
dating
know how-
apps.
James is like, I'm
played
just
into it.
screaming it right now. Just walk into
I
a
mean,
room and.
Yeah. It's that's why I think dating apps suck, because someone doesn't
Yes.
know. Someone's like, oh, this guy's a dickhead. Like someone's gonna do the advice that your friend gave you and go, you've got way more value than he does, because
Yeah.
girls have more value than
Well, that's
guys
kind
do.
of like what I was.
Yeah, unfortunately,
It's
that's
like
the trope.
Nobody gives it a chance. Like, it's like, well, what if he's not a dickhead? What if he just said one tiny dickhead thing, or you misinterpreted something he said, or you see a picture of him and you're like, oh, that guy's wearing a beanie, he might be this kind of guy. You write them off. Like, you don't give everybody
I was like, am I
chance.
wearing a beanie? I was like, no, it's you.
I'm a beanie guy.
Nobody gets given
Yes,
a
I'm
chance. It's like,
uncircumcised as well.
cut. But yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah.
I'm just not. Yeah, I was on Bumski. I was on there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I met my ex.
On
I just
Bunky.
deleted it like a good girl. Yeah, but I never did Tinder.
Mm.
But I mean, if you want dick pics, they send them through Facebook.
Yeah.
Like you can just. That would just look like a hot
I
mess.
haven't been
I
a
never got into
recipient-
Tinder.
I've been a recipient of any dick pics at all.
Unsolicited.
Respect.
But
You see it wank
Any dick-
ejaculation videos, like
pics of
10-second
any
clips of
kind.
like
I've
Do you think that's
been
ejaculation.
scared by pictures of my
It's
own
disgusting.
at times. They come around.
Why haven't
But,
girls tried to start that trend of them sending
Oh my God.
unsolicited dick pics they've received to guys that they're interested
Yeah.
in? I
Oh.
think that would be
Oh,
fucking
what?
hilarious. So like,
It's like a
you know
little
how you
signal,
get-
like
Yeah.
yeah, but like you just do it for lols. So even it can be lols. It can be like some sort of
Unsolicited pussy pics to guys that you want to pick up.
no. So that
Unsolicited dick pics to
that they've
guys who
got.
send you unsolicited
Yeah,
dick pics.
yeah. That's
you get a dick pic.
used to be
Yeah.
a thing. We used to do that.
Oh, there you
So
go.
it's
Okay,
like,
that's pretty sweet.
oh, that's cute,
Yeah.
but look at this one.
Yeah.
And they're
This is
like,
a better dick
gross.
than that.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
That's
what are you
fantastic.
fucking
We
doing,
we're
animal?
exchanging dick pics. These are
Yeah,
my
I
favorites.
thought it was a competition, and I just
Is that
won.
your favorite? Oh, that's
Like,
yours.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
One of mine sucks so
That
much.
dick looks familiar.
Yeah.
Why don't you show the good one? Oh, that was the best one you have.
Yeah.
That's right. If you think about it, a dick pic, each one that is sent out is technically a masterpiece in whoever's sending
That's
it.
Yeah, they're like, this is impressive.
But also, maybe not at the same time.
You think they're underselling the dick pic?
No, not underselling it. I'm sure they're doing everything they can to stage it and prop it and get it all
Yeah.
fucking
Change.
staged.
They got these lights
Lighting,
going and
yeah.
everything, dude.
Yeah, but they just
Nailing it.
know what they're walking in with. But yet that doesn't stop them, because I've
No.
seen again, and I've seen I've been privy to unsolicited dick pics that have been sent on, and it's kind of been that thing like, oh, this fucking guy, like, it's not even a good dick.
Yeah.
But also they're a bit peeved at
There's always there's always like a I mean, it's been a while, but there's always like an element of
slipping Pete
of anger, of like
you caught me while I was reading the rest of it.
Like they'll send it, but it's like laced with angry fuck you energy already.
The dick pic.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think it's like both sides?
Here's my cock, bitch. And you're like, thanks, fuck you. I didn't ask for that. And they're like, yeah, well, you're a dumb fucking bitch anyway. Fuck you. And I'm like,
that response is actually quite,
you know what there should
it's really common.
All
it's like,
too
yeah,
common,
well, you're a stupid bitch anyway, and I don't want to fuck you anyway. I'm like, cool.
I don't think that guys
Horrific.
I don't think guys get this, know this. Like, I don't know this. I've seen a handful, pardon the dick pics.
Or a fistful.
Yeah, but I've seen very few, dick pics in my time. But to get down to like the energy of that dick pic.
Oh, yeah.
And the vibe of that dick pic.
Yeah.
Aside from the dick
the
itself.
fact that it's a veiny motherfucker you didn't ask for.
Yeah, that's it. Aside from a throbbing member in a shot, there's other bits, the lighting and the whole curation.
I've got
of
a
the
friend
shot.
with a really big Instagram following, and she's a hot bitch, and she just shamelessly screenshots and posts the DMs that she gets, and it's like, hey, and then no response. Hello, no response. You're hot and beautiful. We should meet. No response. And they're like, fuck you, you stupid, worthless cunt. You think you're better than me? Fucking die in a fire. She's like, I've literally said nothing.
Like, oh, sorry, dude. I missed your messages. I was fucking
phone was
in hospital
off
for a couple of weeks.
charging.
But
it's like the aggression. It's like, I'll throw it out there and see
Yeah.
what comes back. And if you don't reciprocate, well, fuck you. And it's like desecrating her. Like, I'm just going to give a shit. They're anonymous idiots.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it is ridiculous
wow.
that you like,
you have to get abused.
and you also, as a male, as the person sending the message, can't handle the rejection from someone you don't know, you haven't had to physically speak to,
And you've already been disgusting to.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
And like, the percentage chance of like them actually seeing the message is so low, but for you to still get triggered is quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's this malicious
Because
cunt.
don't they know it goes into like the requested section, and then like,
Yeah, it's called
mate,
the
for
other.
like 3 or 4 years, I didn't even know that was like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
tab. I just didn't even look at it.
Yep. People,
You know?
find out about that and then
Yeah.
go, oh fuck, there's all this stuff.
Yeah. So it's like,
But yeah.
I also think
It's
it's obviously
Dick
the
pic
ego
culture.
thing, right? So
Mm.
it's the guys like, oh, there's this like top level chick, she's got
yeah,
a huge following. There's a lot of people who want her, and that person's going to step up and be like, hey, what? It could be me. That person obviously it's got an ego, and to be let down is probably a bit hard for them, and they're
True.
reacting, and they're like, oh fuck you, you fucking cunt. Like,
Totally.
now
Given
you've
that
made me feel like a fool because I've gone all out and sent this message that's
this
been
piece of
unreciprocated.
prose, this actual Shakespearean beautiful paragraph, how could you resist it?
Yeah.
I got this question for you. Alternatively, is there a trigger for women that would be like that? So like if you message a guy, like, do you know what I mean? Would a girl ever message a guy, never get a response and get mad? Like what is the response
I guess.
when you guys shoot your shot?
Is
there a response?
I mean, I can't speak for all women.
No, but just in general,
Passive-aggressive, like, fine then.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
do they lash out? You obviously would never have lashed out. Well, not you specifically.
I mean, it's like a drunk chick thing, or like a young white girl wasted thing. We were talking about this downstairs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I also think that girls are more, and I don't want to generalize, but girls are often a little bit more likely to pick up on a vibe, like a subtle
Subliminally.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to begin with, girls aren't making as many advances as guys. Girls aren't as persistent as guys in general. But also girls will pick up a vibe. So not only are they not there in the first place as much, they're not as persistent to begin with. But if they pick up that someone's not interested, I think they're more likely to go, hey, you know what? I'll just quit while I'm ahead here. Or quit while
politely
I'm not that
step
far behind.
out.
Whereas guys will be like, oh, maybe I didn't want
Maybe
it
I didn't
enough.
make it clear enough, slut.
Yeah.
I said, hey, what are you doing?
Maybe I wasn't like masculine.
my
Maybe,
dick.
maybe I wasn't bossy enough. And if I want it and I say like, yeah, fucking no,
Yeah.
you're going home with me, then maybe it'll happen. I think some guys really do.
Totally.
have some
I feel
sort
like
of-
they're looking for cut through. Like when they know you're high value ish, they know that you hear it a lot, right? This is interesting. So they see a chick and they're like, she's gorgeous. I'm sure a lot of dudes hit on her. What can I say that sounds different to what all the others say so that I stand out and I cut through and I could be the one that gets through all the noise?
Little
and I'm the one
does he know that all of the other guys call her a
he's saying
fucking
the same
selfish cunt
shit
as well at the end.
Yeah.
But that's
You're
the
not
thing
that
too.
hot though. Like you're okay, but like you've got acne scars. Like I
They
mean,
hear
and
something
I'm like,
about
cool,
negging
cunt. I
and they're
don't-
like,
go
"I'll
away.
neg you.
They almost turn into like evil comedians once they get rejected, and start
Yeah.
going at like the obvious things to like make fun of someone. But it's a simple thing of just realizing that like you really want to cut through it, especially now more than ever. And I didn't get to experience it obviously because we were single in like the lockdown phases. But you can just totally go speak to people now, and it's like not done. Do you know what I mean? Like out and about, not
It's rare.
not out drinking, out and about in public during the day, after work. These are these fucking little golden moments where you can do not whatever the fuck you want, but you almost have open slather to. Although we had that when we first started dating, you had that dude fucking follow you around, not QV. Fuck, where was it?
The guy walking backwards.
Yeah. Fully just like spoke to her for like 20 minutes inside the fucking shopping complex. Like, do you have a boyfriend? And just kept going. So probably not to that level, but definitely
Yeah.
worth having a crack in person and understanding when you're not wanted is key.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'd invest my energy in that more than I would a 2-second text that would piss me
Yeah.
off for the entire evening because it's not going to work.
yeah, true. I guess it's more. I just assume every dude's taken when I'm out. I don't know. I kind of if a dude was just like
Do you
going
mean-
about his business like shopping, I'd be like, oh, it looks like he's buying something for his baby. I wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't see dudes as.
No, that's the thing is because it's not a common thing. And it even wasn't a common thing when it would have been perceived as being like somewhat normal to like, you know, speak to someone at a coffee shop or whatever, or, you know,
Yeah, true.
daily
I
errand
remember
style.
actually. You know what? I remember those days. I remember going to the gym, and like a semi-normal dude was like, "Hey," and I was like, "I think this is what normal conversation feels like."
Yeah.
Like without a dick pic to lead it off
Yeah.
or something. I was like, "Are you just being nice to me in a slightly extra nice way?
Yeah.
Because you like me, but you're not a piece of shit." And I was like, I don't know what to do about this. I'm gonna go and squat in the corner.
But
I
that's
remember
what you
that,
learn.
and then I was like, because you're so, I don't know, we're so I'm so like ready to be creeped out. I'm like,
Yes.
You'll stop talking. Oh, you're actually normal.
But it is almost
hard to-
the person approaching's job, male or female, to kind of give that feedback back that like I'm not an enemy or whatever, and like as soon as I feel that you're really uncomfortable, I will kind of eject from the situation, or like I will control kind of like how the situation is being perceived. So if I can tell you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, you know, you do what you can to be like, hey, look, you know, didn't want to make you uncomfortable, whatever. I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
and
really
just
good at this,
reading it.
isn't he?
No,
So
but
he
it's,
gets the
Very
butchers.
but that's the thing
It's
is I
unnerving.
think learning, you know, if you are going to talk to someone that it's pretty uncomfortable, like it's to anyone, even especially after COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Like going to the shops and asking like for a price check or something, it feels awkward, right?
Totally.
Let alone asking for a phone number or something like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I think it's
trying to think
it's
of
an untapped gold mine. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Just talking to people in general.
In real
yeah.
life.
In real life.
real time.
It's also a good habit to get back into as well. Just general.
Well, I mean, maybe don't
chit-chat.
you get into that habit, but I mean, for general.
No, well, I think
I'm
it would
really-
be better for us if we're shopping because that way you don't have to. So we went to
You guys shopping?
I'm
the
kidding.
Apple store,
Oh, I
right?
thought, I thought you guys were taking
That
the
too. Do you
opening
know
up the
anyone?
old relationship.
Yeah.
No, this is literal shopping, James.
Okay.
And we wanted to get, I think something was busted or we needed to go. Anyway, a warranty needed to be claimed or something like that. And I can be quite shitty and aggressive at the best of times.
It actually works well with something like a warranty claim or a return.
But
Sometimes you need a little bit of
yeah,
that.
she can finesse the fuck out of it. So she was like, let me do it. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is maybe if I was a bit more prone to just have those conversations inside shops, I would be less aggressive in general. So, you know, there is a net benefit to talking in public more often.
Yeah.
I think I personally feel like after the Melbourne lockdown, we have this tension towards everyone for no reason.
Totally. I
And
was
it's completely unwarranted.
I remember going back to work and I I had like 25 clients to see back to back, and I was like, "Hi, how you going? Good, thanks." I was like, I forget how to be friendly. I forget like
surreal.
casual banter and being like, "So how are you? How are you? Not that sick? You're not sick at all." Think fuck.
That's right. Even the eye contact, like you're doing it now. Everyone's like kind of lost the eye contact. Like you have eye contact with people you're comfortable with, but you know, work and like, all that sort of stuff. It all translates into dating too, because then like that's more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to do it asking for milk at the shops, you're not going to fucking do it asking someone out on a date.
Yeah, true.
You know, and eye contact's big, true.
Yeah, massive.
It's a big thing for girls. Eye contact.
Yeah, for sure. Also terrifying. But the
Can you explain how it can become terrifying? Yeah, what is the?
I can't explain it without being racist. There's cultures that
you can
do
allude
this
to it and then
thing
let me be racist.
Okay. There's cultures where it's almost
Arabs,
like
Indians. Yes. Go on.
Warmer. No.
You don't have to acknowledge
like,
it. It's fine.
It's just like this stare thing in your eyes, and you're
Mm.
like, here that's invasive. And if you do that to a dude, he's going to punch on with you. Like that's them's fighting eyes. You know, you can't just like stare a dude in the eye. If a guy across the cafe was staring at you in the eyes, you're like, do you want to die? Like break eye like locked eyes, you know. But it's a bit of a like a dead stare eye contact with a chick is like, I own you, bitch. Like,
that's
coming for you.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I can see that you can see me looking and I don't care. I'm not scared. It's not, you know, you make eye contact with your chick and you're like, she caught me looking. Oh, did it again. It's like this cute little game where it's just like, I don't give a fuck if you can see me looking. It's like,
I'm just going to keep on staring at you.
yeah, it's like, come here, bitch. And that's like,
They're probably also not necessarily thinking, come here, bitch. It seems like that. It seems like that to you. But they're probably just like, they're probably just unaware of feeling uncomfortable in that situation. They're probably just like,
I can't wait to play that back. I'm clipping that.
It's gonna be sad,
100%. Yeah, for sure.
I can't see you doing that, James. I can't see you being like, she can see me looking at her right now. Oh, wow, she's, and you know, you just wouldn't do that. You're just not, you'd be like, polite about it. You wouldn't be like,
true. But they've got the cast. Oh, again, I shouldn't
see. With the Mo, you've probably
system.
calibrated to not look for too long.
True. That's it.
Oh God.
It's the you know, situation dictates, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I'm so sensitive to body language though. Like like we were saying, down. I'm so hyper aware of people's body language and their movements, and I think I'm not treat. I hate.
Would you say a lot of your friends are like that also, not just you? Oh man, I'm fucking.
I don't know.
Struggling team.
Doing a great job.
Just like little things that you just used to like over the years just cumulatively repulsed me. Not to, I sound like a man hater. I'm not, by the way.
She's a little bit, guys.
I'm not.
It's okay.
Not really.
Yeah, but you said I was a bit woman hating,
like
so
you.
we've joined.
Well, yeah, we've joined forces, and now we're just this toxic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
men and women suck.
But I just remember being like, I was like 20 years old working at Cotton On Kids, and like women would come in and they were like 100 months pregnant. They were like waddling in, like so uncomfortable and like so heavy and like so close to giving birth, and they would like waddle into the kids clothing store, and like I would be standing there in like my fucking 20-year-old glory, like fucking perfect, because like nothing's gone wrong with my body yet because I'm like so young.
Yeah.
And the dude who got her pregnant would like wander in after her and like look at me and be like, and I'm like, pig, you did that. Like you made, this is for you, this change that she's going through.
She looks like this before you got to her.
It's like, yeah. And I was just like, man, that's revolting.
Yeah, that is
It was
pretty
so
foul.
rough because it was just like, yeah, stuff like that. That kind of eye contact. I'm like, dude, you've got literally a pregnant missus like a meter away from you. Like, I can't respect that.
Are people aware of that? Like, do you think the partners and stuff, or is it just the fleeting glance and you'd never know kind of thing?
I don't know. Maybe they are, and they're just like, well, I'm too far gone now. I mean, what am I going to do now?
Pretty sure that
What you do? Walk away?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that
Eat a dick, bitch.
partners know if their partner's a perv, I reckon, after a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
Then I've
true.
had like a look.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've had a friends sort of explained to me how
Oh.
devious they are about looking at asses and boobs when they're walking around. And it's like, I actually don't think you're being as devious. I'm
Do you
quite
remember
sure
that scene
she's
in the
aware of it.
40-year-old version? He's like, you gotta use your peripherals.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm looking at you, but I'm looking at the redhead at 3 o'clock down by the ficus. He's like,
Yeah.
that's so specific.
It's true.
Yeah. That was a demographic too. That, that did that.
What demographic?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
true.
I forgot.
Yeah, same
It's a
here.
demographic you can't say.
Yeah.
If they were Italian, I could say it, but they're not. So I can't.
True.
It's okay to be racist to Italians. Bapa-da-boopy.
Ba-ba-da-boop.
Mario and Luigi.
Oh.
Spag. That's my favorite. Like, I'd never heard it until my current job. So
Spag?
we're all Mediterranean, except Orlando. Shout out Orlando, Filipino boy. But all of us are Maltese except one guy who's Italian.
Maltese,
Yeah.
specifically.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Feged's Maltese. I'm Maltese. Dan's Maltese. Mark's Maltese. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
stand Maltese.
all I heard
Maltesers.
on my second day there, someone yelled, "Hey, Spag, can you hit the keyboard from out the back?" And I was like, "Spag?" And I just started laughing because I knew he was talking to Anthony. And I'm just like, imagine the equivalent in other shit to people if you yelled that out in an office. No one blinked. And this is, council office,
Wow.
quite PC. No one even blinked an eyelid, man. Oh, yeah. But
Really?
it's okay.
So,
It's okay to be racist.
just in case. I've
Spag is
missed
slang
it.
for Italian.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, because they eat
As in-
spaghetti.
yeah, okay.
'Cause they
I
love
Hey,
thought so.
Dim Sim, can you check us
No,
out?
we're-
Imagine if you said like, hey, fried chicken to
Jesus.
someone.
Yeah, totally.
Well, hey, what's up,
It's
watermelon?
Yeah,
Like, that's
totally.
over, dude.
Totally.
I find race like
I love making
Give me bad
uncomfortable with that
ideas, though.
stuff.
Give me
Yeah.
bad ideas.
I just find racist jokes really funny. Sorry.
It's a thing.
That we
They
went
are.
to Chris Rock
Yeah,
the
how
other
good was
night.
that?
It was fucking unbelievable.
Mm.
I just
Do you
find
think he picks up on when he dropped the N word, which he did quite a bit? There are certain people that don't laugh when he's doing stuff, and then everyone laughed when he was dropping the N bombs and stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's right, Australia's still pretty racist.
yeah,
isn't it?
fucking oath.
Yeah.
There was a very racist demographic that was there.
There
Actually,
was a joke
if I
about
may.
Lululemon pants, and
yeah.
because they're so expensive, buying cheap ones that were racist. And like when it did the squeaky noise, it dropped the N bomb. It was quite good. But yeah,
But I'm one of those weirdos that laughs too hard at the things that aren't meant to be centrally funny. Like I'm
Yeah.
laughing at the side little bits.
Mm.
Like at one point you're like, why? Like it was too much. Like I was.
Oh, no, I
dying.
love that you laughed
Nobody
that
else
hard.
was laughing though, and I was like losing it. And
No,
it was like
that's
I've obviously
good.
laughed at the wrong.
That's
I love it
comedy.
when they say something wrong
Yeah.
and then hardly anyone laughs, but like one or two people
Yeah.
fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my God,
without
I couldn't
restraint.
get my
and
shit
you
His
just-
together.
opener was like that.
Yeah.
And my God, man, I couldn't breathe. Like it was great. Yeah, that was a
I
good
just think
night.
it's really funny when people say racist. Like, I find
Well,
it
I'm
really funny
actually-
when black people talk about like when they call us cracker. Like that's so funny
Mm.
because fuck, we can take it back a bit, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
open
think so.
to it. I love being racist against Australian people. They're
You are
revolting.
very racist
They're
against
revolting.
people.
Against Australian,
Aussies,
against
yeah,
Bogans.
because I can, because I am one. Totally,
Yeah,
I'm from Bogan stock.
I'm also from may or may not be from indigenous stock, so I get
You're
So you can use the B
same.
word.
can tell some
Same.
sweet
Use the
as
B word.
I can, but I won't.
Yeah,
I refuse to.
yeah. Apparently, I've got a great grandfather who's. I'm not going to say the word.
Yeah, but it really opens up a world of great jokes.
Totally,
I
and a
found as
sense of
well.
entitlement to them. I'm really.
We'll get you
I'll
one of the
take it for
t-shirts
that.
and you can just
Yeah,
run around and
I
say.
mean, I'll take what I can get.
I won't share any of the jokes.
No. But we've strayed quite a bit. We ended up on racism.
That's great.
Where's my mouse go? Eh? Come back to me, baby.
If we go on too much longer, we'll be covering endangered frog species.
Gee, oh,
right.
really?
The wetlands. Of
Go for it. Just let it happen. I'm a nurse. Come at me.
We can bring that one up next week. And
Oh, look, there's plenty of time for all these.
Fully.
I can't get over
weird or the way
spag.
forward?
yeah, spag is great.
Again, I don't feel comfortable saying it because I'm not as.
Okay, so there's a dot point
I'm
here.
not a spag eater
The lovely,
myself.
the lovely Amy's. I can't say them, Bill. Unfortunately, on Twitch,
what's
those
he
ones will
saying?
get me banned. No. He said one for Spanish people.
Ooh.
So you left the dot point here. So being committed, monogamous relationships for years, even decades, but choosing to never move in together and living fairly separate lives during the week. Is that a thing?
I know couples like that, and they're in their 40s and 50s.
Really?
And she's like, "Oh yeah, I love him. We've been together for decades, but I don't want to live with him." It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, look, as someone who has obviously lived in a relationship for 5-6 years, now has my own space, I can see how that's great, but I really, really, really do look forward to the time we spend together. So I couldn't see.
I was like, "Where's this going? Is he going to tell me that he
I'm a
doesn't want me
massive
to
fan of
live with
breakfast
him?"
in bed. And,
Oh my god! I
was
got
gonna
to show you
say
the
I'd like
Andrew
to
Tate
stay.
thing of the 2 cups of coffee.
Yep.
He makes so there's this big thing where he makes his missus make 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
And then he goes to do this thing where he only drinks one anyway. I will show you it later. It's a trigger fest.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
But
I thought you were leading towards, and I'd like to continue living by myself.
no. Well, that's the thing is, like, I think it
All the time?
naturally. It's fine. You're actually
Okay.
transmitting quite well. Just don't hit those little switches on the front of it. That's all.
I already did.
If you
I already
did, then it's fucked. The audio.
Someone
sucks
would have
currently.
mentioned it. We've got a good
Mm.
listeners there.
That's
calling
right.
that sort of shit out.
Thanks, team.
Yeah. So I think it naturally moves towards wanting to live with the person
Cohabitating?
if it's a monogamous relationship. I could see it wanting to stay apart if you guys were like open or something. Because that space would make more sense because like maybe it wouldn't put it into a space where you feel like you're doing something a bit weird, kind of seeing other people and stuff. Maybe I'm just guessing.
I reckon it's people who are just really
Independent.
set in their little ways, and they like the house to stay looking the way it does. And
Yeah. I mean, look, they could do that, right?
So-
Like it's not wrong or bad, or I just
Yeah.
wouldn't see it as normative.
And if they had the means, yeah, it's probably not normative from a traditional sense.
Mm.
But also, I could imagine there's a lot of people I know who are like, I like living alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like living alone. And then a lot of people who are like, I don't want my life to be impacted by, I don't want to lose myself to some sort of relationship or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
imagine people sort of steadfastly staying with those sort of ideas
Yeah.
and going along doing it if they had the means. Because a lot of cohabitation would be, I know that's why I'd
Saving
rushed
money.
to move in at a time in the past, was that it made sense financially to
Financially.
do it. The lease was ending, and we might as well just give it a go.
Mm.
Whereas if both of us had owned our own houses,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
Mm.
wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have gone to it for that reason. So there's probably
Well, that's the thing, yeah, because we're both obviously living in separate houses that are both our own and that sort of thing. Yeah, I guess you don't rush into it straight away because you don't need to, because you both have your own spaces and stuff, and you can, come over whenever you want, and there's like no open-ended get out of here or whatever.
I just think if you really love somebody, you want to be with them every day. You wanna
Yeah.
wake up with them and go to
I
bed
guess
with
that's
them,
the-
and go home to them after work. And
I'm gonna put my my young kid hat on, and they'll be like, "Well, that's very generic and all that sort of stuff."
generic.
I think as you kind of age into relationships and understand them, it is the relationships you look for, the ones where you want to spend time around the person for quite an extensive period of time. Maybe the relationships where you feel like you can do your own thing for days, weeks at a time. Maybe don't facilitate what most people would see a relationship facilitating. Maybe for that person, it's ticking some other boxes where it doesn't need it. Which sucks, I think. To me, it feels a bit like, then just be single.
Yeah, but then it's like a
Just have a
seeking.
mate.
It's like a seeking arrangement.
Yeah.
It's like I have a girlfriend when it suits me, and
Yeah.
then
Also, some people are ticking a box in that respect.
Mm.
Because I've noticed that some people aren't quite fulfilled until they're like, yeah, I got a girlfriend at the moment.
Yeah.
And so they might just be ticking that box. Go, yeah,
Isn't
I got
that
a girlfriend.
ironic?
Yeah, she's
Mm.
hot. Yep, she's over there doing
Yeah.
something, whatever.
For all the I guess the like the evolution that people are trying to kind of say that's happening and stuff. People still like to say that they're a part of something, whether that something is, one person, two persons, multiple persons. Like it's always labeled and it's always a thing.
Yeah.
People are just like, I actually don't know what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
it's never indefinite. It's always a thing that has
Yeah.
like, a choice behind it. You're like, I just don't know what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And even being, just being single's a thing.
Yeah.
Almost in the same way as like, And they're like, oh no, I refuse to make a choice. And it's like, okay, making no choice is
Yeah.
also making
Is
a
it
choice.
choice?
It's the same sort of
I'm
thing as
relationship
that.
agnostic, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, but just because
Yeah.
you're not in a relationship, like, oh, so you're being single then? Like, is it the like loser single or the playing
Yeah.
the field type of single?
Yeah, right.
Wild
This
parties.
is silly.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a bit. Don't want to hijack the.
No. Well, we've completely done. You've got fucking heaps of good topics. There's so many, but if we go down that hole now, I think we're gonna be stuck for a few good hours.
Just more of a multiple pod ideas dump. It wasn't like
Yeah, they're
let's
great.
systematically go through every single one.
No, well, we haven't. I've just been kind of jumping around. Can you talk about this one?
Sure can. I lived
do you-
that life.
Yeah, do you want me to read that
I've
out
lived
for
a few
you?
lives.
Is the top bit part of it, or is that separate? The whole
I
thing?
mean, it's all the same vibe, but there is a massive escort culture in Sydney.
Okay. So I'll read that whole thing out then. So Sydney escort culture and wealthy men being so highly prized. In some parts of Sydney, the concept of marriage is much more of a business arrangement, which is what we were talking about before, where it's absolutely assumed and normalized to have sex outside of the marriage and is seen as fair when he's providing a high level of lifestyle for her. Okay, this is the man-hating bit, like it's his entitlement for attaining a certain level of wealth.
That's literally the scene.
Yeah.
It's not me hating on anybody.
Yeah,
that was
no. I was trying to be a bit naughty, and make fun of you.
By all
But
means.
I think that. Well, can you tell us about it? I guess
It was just something that I lived in Sydney for a few years, and I was married in Sydney, and that was I was raised in Melbourne, where it's like suburban Melbourne, where I suppose the norm would be to find one penguin.
heteronormative, the kids call it.
Find a penguin and partner with them and put up with their shit for the rest of your life. But that wasn't the case when I moved to Sydney, I realised. So
Is it very obvious? Like literally every
what was that?
That's my Discord popping off, which I'll close.
I didn't know it was. I was this cute little naive little bunny. And I remember, I'll never forget, I used to see my clients a lot more frequently in Sydney because they like it more. You know, they want bigger doses and more, treatments more often and whatever. I remember confiding to a client of mine who'd become a friend because she visited so often. I was like, I don't know, babe. I just have this feeling in my tummy. I have a feeling in my guts, like, he's got sunburn on his back and it's the middle of winter and there's sand all through the car. Like, I just feel like he's going places during the day that I don't know about. And
wow.
I just have a feeling in my gut that like he's, maybe cheating on me. And the client was like in her 40s, 3 kids, married, Sydney woman. And she's like, oh, that was the punchline that you thought he was. She's like, yeah, of course he is, babe.
That's kind of sad. That
What
sucks.
do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, of course he is, baby girl. They all are. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I did this whole thing and I thought we'd like made promises and she's like, well, yeah, but not like really, not like all the time. And I'm like, oh, she goes, that's so cute. Did you think it was like Disney where they just like pick one and stick with them forever? That's really sweet. No man's going to live like that. Why would he? He doesn't have to.
Yeah, well, even Maxine was saying that because she obviously is an escort and works in Canberra, and like the politicians that they see, obviously they're all basically married because it's very few single politicians because that's the scope. But yeah, just heaps of them, and then it's like just kind of a thing that's known.
It's a big escort thing. Polly's, I reckon.
And they're like, oh, we don't talk about it. It's like, well, I mean, it's open and they're just paying for it.
Yeah. Well, they probably
why don't you mention
NDAs.
it? Well, that's off brand for the business.
Yeah.
It's got to be
in
marriage to
because
be a
they pay
family
heaps
person to be a
and-
politician in the
Totally.
first place.
Yeah. But it was just like really, and I can only speak from my own experience, and I'm not representing all of Sydney women or marriages or whatever, but I really did feel like I don't know. When I first moved there, everybody would say, they ask you 3 questions. What area do you live in? Like, what suburb are you from? in
I did
Sydney?
notice that. Yep.
What's what school did you go to? And I'm
Mhm.
like, school as in high school, like 100 years ago?
Yeah.
I went to Warrandyte High,
Yeah,
if you'd
yeah,
like to
yeah.
know. Like,
Yep.
You're like,
weird question.
okay.
Because they're trying to see, like, what suburb are you from? What
Yeah.
kind of money do you live on?
Mm.
What school did you go to? Are you from old money where your parents sent you to $100,000 a year private school?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of family you've come from? And they'd all say, what does your partner do? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, he's doing cool stuff, but nobody asked me what I did. What does your partner do? What does
That's
your partner
crazy.
do? What does your partner? I'm like, man, what the ask me what I fucking do.
Because it's that much of a relationship-y type.
It was like it doesn't matter,
exchange.
sweetie. It doesn't. What do you mean? You're like it matters what he does. Like
Wow.
that's the status and the
Yeah.
you know. And I happened to be living in a very affluent suburb at the time, and he happened to be really successful, and that was awesome. Those were the right answers, you know.
Yeah.
And so it led me to those sorts of people and those sorts of circles, and yeah, escorts everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
But it's almost like yeah.
I wonder if it's like that still today.
I just didn't get a feeling from a lot of the young women that I got around that were sort of my age. I was like 27, 8-ish.
Mm.
It wasn't like, sweetie, get a good job, work hard, make your own money, reach for the stars. It was like, you just need to attach yourself to a dude, you know, even if it's someone else's dude.
Yeah, he said Mad Wog. He doesn't get pinged for his name, but he said Wog. He said the word Wogs with the capital O. Sounds like the old Wogs in Melbourne. And he's got warned.
No, I allowed it, didn't I?
Oh, you
I allowed
you
them.
added Wogs
Yeah.
to your
I
dictionary.
let them through. Yeah.
He wasn't in there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Look, I hope it kind of moves out of that space because that sounds really sad and kind of awkward.
This is how it is. And it was like, in no uncertain terms, like, I
It's
remember we
just
were
weird
sitting
that
there like,
Sydney on one hand can be so gay progressive because they were really like the pioneers
yeah.
in gay progression.
but it's two
then
totally,
also-
they're parallel universes. Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's something,
we were
something
in like
so
the gay
kind
capital
of
where I was living. It was like,
alternatively quite toxic. Is like,
Yeah.
you know, the status quo almost.
totally.
Yeah, that's fucked.
It was like, and it's like if you don't like it, if you don't like that he's
Yeah,
doing that,
you just move
you
on.
could feel free to step aside because there's like
Yeah.
10 girls behind you waiting, and they're probably
Yeah.
younger and prettier actually. So
Yeah.
step aside.
That's kind of the
Jesus.
funny thing about it. It's like what the person said. It's like, oh, why would he when he's got that option?
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
you
like just a ludicrous suggestion. It's like,
the option.
It almost
Michael.
puts it on you to like try and keep the thing going because then you know you
Yeah.
can just be replaced and stuff.
I felt like a lot of the women
Don't ever
that,
date from a place of desperation. That is fucking
Yeah.
terrifying. Yeah.
when I used to do like Botox treatments on women in Sydney, like it was really, their reason for having Botox was, the theme was really strong around like, oh, my partner's a few years younger than me, or my partner doesn't want to wake up one day next to an old looking woman, or my partner likes young looking girls.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's driven to come see me for Botox treatments because they just want to look nice for themselves or just want to maintain what they have, or I
Actually,
don't
that's a
hear
good
that in
question, yeah.
Melbourne. I don't hear anyone. They're like, it's not. I don't even tell him I do it. It's for me. I don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
like I'm single and I do it for myself, or I dye my grey hairs, so I'd like to do a little bit of Botox as well. It's never driven by like, I need to do this to stay good enough for my partner. Otherwise, I'll be turfed to the side, and without him, I have no value on my own.
So note
Terrifying.
to everyone listening, if you're in Sydney, stay out of the rich areas, am I right?
It was a long time ago, and
Yeah.
it's one tiny little pocket. I can't speak for everybody, but that's my
Yeah,
experience.
definitely. Thanks for the insight, James. That was awesome. That's definitely peering under the hood of the secret societies of
James
Sydney.
is horrified.
No, all right. Nothing.
No, he's booking a flight to
He's
Sydney.
just worried about the frog.
The frog.
The-
You know, the frog is
Extinct.
But yeah, that does put us
Struggling.
at an hour 25. So that's
Oh wow.
that is us done for this week on Irrelevant Platitudes. Thank you guys for tuning into the Stripper Diaries. And
That was cool.
yeah, Bill's saga to get pegging happening still
Yeah.
in chat.
Make it happen. See if we can get to that $5.
Well, it's
Yeah.
$5K. It's cheap at twice the price. If you ask me.
I'd like to thank you two guys for coming on. Obviously, I was very, 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 very tired today.
You did
And
good,
carrying the show. Did very well. I actually felt really relaxed
Good.
and just let you guys kind of smash it, which was fucking awesome.
James is
Sure.
relaxed as well.
Yeah, I'm super relaxed. We won't say why.
He's really uptight.
Mm.
Really wound up.
Fucking-
On end.
But yeah, I'll send us out to everyone listening. Obviously, link t.ee/IRRPlat, PLAT pod. That'll get our link tree. So that's linktr.ee/IrrPlatPod. And you'll get all our socials on there. And it's IrrPlatPod on everything to find us. Any sign-offs? You guys good to...
Kiss me on the pod.
Kiss me on the pod.
There's the microphones and stuff in the way.
Never asked.
Can I blow you one? Does that count? No?
Yeah.
Maybe later.
It's very awkward. All right. See you guys.
Good night.
What are you waiting for? I'm waiting. The car's cold. Get the fuck out of here! What?
Never heard the
Fucking
back
warming
out
up.
of
Get
it.
out of here!
You heard the man. Get out of here. Thanks for listening to Irrelevant Platitudes.
Solid. No, you fucking like that too. Carried the show.